Of course it is.
It's a lot of
But answer my question though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
This is The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. No, I'm asking the mayor and the common council president and the common council. Show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio in Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Before I jump all in, get all into the show, I have to remember and remind you that I have a very special invited guest who happens to be very busy today. So I understand. However, I have the Central Regional Director, Sora Davis from the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, will be joining me around 5:30 in the 5 o'clock hour. So make sure that you stick around. They're in town for their Central Region Convention, their conference, and it's going to be somewhere between, 4,000 and 8,000 women, educated Black women, college-educated Black women, members of the Divine Nine, that are going to be here this weekend. So it's going to be a very, very spectacular weekend. Black women adding to the Milwaukee economy, doing great things, talking about programs. And I want to thank the two alumni chapters here, Epsilon Kappa Omega and Upsilon Mu Omega. So the ladies are going to be here in a nice way, turning it up. And so I hope to have their Central Regional Director on with us, Sora Davis. So I look forward to that. So as I was looking at the news today, and as I was going through some of the things that, made me wonder. I had to wonder, but then I thought, no, let me just send a message. So I thought today I would send a message to the First Lady of the United States of America, Dr. Jill Biden. And for those of you knuckleheads who don't understand that an academic doctor is still a doctor, a medical doctor is not the only doctor in the world, that people are not, I was actually told this, people aren't smart enough to understand the difference between a medical doctor and an academic doctor. So we just call medical doctors doctors. Stupid. But I digress. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden had to walk back a suggestion of inviting both LSU and Iowa to the White House. So let me just say this. Help me with something. We've estimated that Black people, the first group of Black people, came here in 1619. Barring all the other discrepancies with the information that she wrote in the article, barring all of the misinformation that was given and connections that didn't make any sense to both white and black historians, we will agree upon the fact that black people came to America for the first time in 1619. We'll agree that the Clotilda was the last illegal slave ship that made its way to the shores of America in southern Alabama, at which point the rich white family scuttled the ship so they didn't have evidence that they brought slaves here, who were subsequently freed, started their own town, Africatown, in Alabama, dispersed themselves throughout the state, throughout the South, throughout the country. Can't argue that. It's historical facts. But during all that time, and from the time the last slave ship made its way to America till today, white people, both conservative and liberal, talk about merit. Talk about the importance of understanding and finishing and being first. That's why they created AP, Advanced Placement. It wasn't created for us. It's created for them. Parents have been noted standing up in PTA meetings with schools, stating Advanced Placement was created for white suburban kids, not black kids, which is okay. I get it. Your prerogative, your privilege. But the one thing that's been consistent across every single social strata of white people is we live in a country where winning and merit go hand in hand. And so the First Lady, Jill Biden, decides after LSU and Iowa women's basketball teams played, they decided to, hey, let's invite them both. Speaking on Monday, Biden congratulated both teams on their performance on Sunday's national championship, as well as the specifically highlighting Iowa's sportsmanship. Last night, I attended the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, said Biden, while speaking at an event at the Colorado State Capitol in Denver. So I know we'll have the champions come to the White House. We always do. So I hope LSU will come. But, you know, I'm going to tell Joe, I think Iowa should come too because they played such a good game. Who in America gives merit to losers? But yet that's what she did. Not speaking as a conservative, not speaking as a liberal, not speaking as a Republican, not speaking as a Democrat, speaking as a black man, that's garbage. That's racist. So if the white girls lose, we gonna invite them in to make them feel good. Had the black team, the predominantly black team lost, LSU, the first thing they would have said is, you know what? Sometimes you just have to show sportsmanship and be above it. You lost. We believe in merit when white girls win. But if black girls win, oh, well, she's still the number one pick, so. But she's still got a couple years to play. And Angel Reese is a sophomore who has a ring. So how do we get into this thing where white people keep changing the rules when we get to the end? Why is it that white people always feel like when they lose, we have to what? Level the playing field. Isn't that what we've been screaming and crying about for the last 400 years? All we want is a level playing field. And with all things being equal, even though one of the refs was clearly on Iowa's side, they beat the snot out of them. You know what beating the snot out of someone means? I won by 1 point. I know with you is different. You got to beat them by 10, 20, 30. I'll take just one. because one gets me a ring. Second place gets you a set of steak knives. That's it. That's all you got. But I think it's important that everybody take away this, especially to First Lady Jill Biden. As an educator, you do a disservice to those of us who teach in higher ed. Because we've spent an entire time teaching our children, going to school and becoming good civil servants, understanding civics the way that we do, understanding that it's important to go to school and that only winners get trophies. So for you to say we should actually have Iowa come too because they played well, I don't understand that. When Donald Trump, he played well, but he didn't win. Did you invite him to the White House? When Barack Obama won, Hillary Clinton played well. Did you invite her to the White House? No, because the one thing Joe Biden had, the one thing Donald Trump had, the one thing Barack Obama had, and Bill Clinton and Bush and every president that you can count is equivalent to every women's basketball team that won. There's only one thing you can attribute to the win. And it's the one thing Iowa doesn't have: merit.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth, Dr. Ken Harris, and the time is now Milwaukee. For the last 3 decades, I've watched this city grow and change to a place where I'm proud to have raised my children here. Through all the greatness, I've seen us suffer as well. I'll share a perspective few can, real, authentic, and well-informed. Listen to Truth in the Afternoon